Morning everyone, David here. It's another one of my morning mysticisms upon today's reflections and meditations down here at a very windy Otterspool Promenade in Liverpool. So what came along this morning was the notion of this paradox that exists between thinking that we have to do assertive actions all the time to be well, to change, to transform, to progress, to get beyond suffering. So the way we're conditioned is, all our acts, they come from a self-will, a decision that we make. So we make a decision internally. I am going to do something. I am going to change something. So it's making an assertion onto the world externally. It's a forward movement. It's something positive. It's a forward momentum. Now, as far as I understand it, those kind of actions, when suffering exists, for example, extreme suffering, let's say, addiction or really bad mental health, it can actually be the result of a long line of these assertive, positive actions. Basically, when we're imposing our will, our self-will onto the world, onto ourself, and so we get to a state of panic, confusion, even terror at the prospect of everything I'm trying to do is either having no effect or making my situation worse. And then we hear a lot of spiritual solutions, methodologies, telling us not to do anything. Because that what we've been doing is what's certainly not helping the problem, but maybe causing the problem. But there's a relationship between something we can still decide to do and how that's the solution and how it can help. And that's why it's a bit paradoxical. And it's a small word, it's a small sentence, and I think it's quite funny that we see it everywhere. The signs are everywhere, literally the signs are everywhere telling us what it is we need to do. And it comes in the most unlikeliest of places. If you've ever seen a sign outside a house and it says to let, the smallest of words, 3-letter word, let. And that's what it is we've got to do. To let. It's still a decision. It still appears to be some kind of choice that we make. It still appears to exist in the world of self-will to some degree. I look at it as the last possible action or decision we can take, but it's the entry point into a whole world. It's like the other 50% of all the things that we can do. We only see the other 50%. We only see half of the world, half of the possibilities, because we think we've got to be constantly doing, making things happen. But the other half is to let, and all the words that come along with that kind of back that up or flesh that out a bit, is to receive, So we're going to decide to receive or to let, and that's the other world. That's the whole other world of phenomena that we can decide to be part of. And I also equate it to the yin and yang in the Taoist philosophy, which is all the doing, all of the external exertion, the positive making things happen, the trying, the striving, that's all yang. That's all, it's like all the masculine informed phenomena. You know, it's the driving forward, it's the making something happen. That's all the masculine energy. That's what yang is. But to let and to receive, that's yin, and that's a whole other 50%. It's the whole other half of the world, half of the universe, half of the phenomena, to let or to receive. And that appears to be when things are going wrong, we are lost, we're afraid, we're on the wrong path, we're disconnected, alone, alienated, scared, all of those things. It's because we're disconnected. There's no trust. There's no trust in letting. There's no trust in what will happen if we just put ourselves in a position where we can just receive. And that is the last action that we can take, to let. So thanks for listening. See you on another morning for another morning mysticism.